Dramatic images of a rare golden eagle that recently arrived at British Columbia's Boundary Bay. Images that might even take your breath away. We interview the man behind the camera, photographer Christian Sasse. That's next in this Eagle Nova Films special presentation, recorded January 3rd, 2015. Hi everybody, Mark Horner, EagleNova.com, and I'm on the phone right now with Christian Sasse, who is also with EagleNova.com, a well-known photographer who uses oftentimes a large 800 millimeter lens. And folks, let me tell you, that lens, I'm told, came in very handy today while I'm seeing the evidence, because Christian has set out to find that juvenile golden eagle that recently arrived up in Boundary Bay. Christian, congratulations. Thanks for this moment to speak with you today about a very successful shoot. You must be feeling pretty good right now.
Well, I'm excited. I mean, there have been a lot of good photographers, of course, out there covering this. I've seen marvelous images by many. I've seen them by the paper and so on. So I didn't actually expect very much when I went out this morning. I thought, oh well, I'll take a few images if I can find this juvenile golden eagle at all. I was very excited because from David Hancock I learned that this is really rare to have a golden eagle in our territory, simply because there's so many bald eagles, and there's a lot of rivalry between golden eagles and bald eagles. As you know, bald eagles are scavengers, while golden eagles are true hunters. So of course I was very keen to go out there. I didn't really expect much.
Well, you sure got quite a bit. And let's set the stage. You have sent me a link, so I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the street view of this golf course in Boundary Bay, and you sent me this link a moment ago, and now I've got my eyes fixed straight across the golf course, and in the center I see this large tree, and it's got it looks like two primary, at least, bare branches sticking straight upward. This is where you say the golden eagle was perched?
Yes, it's fortunately very easy to find by road. It's 72nd Street in Delta, and you just drive straight south, and you come, I think, to 34th Avenue, and that's where the golf course is. And that's exactly where you're looking at. You're looking east from 72nd Street straight at these two tall branches, and that's the prime territory of the golden eagle. Correct.
And off to the right, we see some standing water, and this seems to be the area where this bird in particular is hunting while it's in Boundary Bay. Because, as you explained to me a short while ago, before we began this interview, the golf course is closed currently until March, I believe you said, and it attracts a lot of ducks at this time of year. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the fortunate thing for non-golfers, I can say. For the wildlife lovers of this world, and there are quite a few very clever birders and so on out there. And I'm just a simple photographer who just loves, who just loves eagles. And it's just wonderful to have that area because ducks love golf courses, of course. I mean, there's grass, there's wonderful cut grass there, and there's a lot of water. And the golden eagle figured that out too. That's my dining area.
Well, let's cut to the chase. We've got these shots of this golden eagle with a duck, and they are magnificent. Tell me what you witnessed and obviously photographed today in terms of that moment, this moment of the hunt, the capture, and how it all transpired.
Well, I think, Mark, I can say I was in constant awe. I think in 1 hour I've learned so much about golden eagles. It's unbelievable because they're so different to bald eagles. I mean, bald eagles are fairly clumsy in hunting. I've seen them hunting ducks before, but it is really clumsy. Now, watch a golden eagle hunt ducks. What he does is, first of all, he turns away from the ducks so that there's no suspicion. Then he makes a huge turn. It looks like a huge plane coming in. And then he dives like crazy. It reminds me a bit of an osprey, because bald eagles, I've seen bald eagles dive, but if a golden eagle dives, they've got beautiful maneuver. And then the ducks wake up, and this golden eagle comes in, knows the wind exactly, very low over the water at an incredible speed. And then the golf course goes slightly uphill, and that's where the ducks were sitting. You can really say sitting ducks. And as they took off, of course, this is slow motion for the golden eagle. You know, it can pick pick out a duck easily from all those. And yes, I couldn't believe it. It went straight at one duck and caught it and turned very quickly. And of course, with a big lens, it's impossible to get that really precious moment. But I was amazed that I had just enough time to focus properly and get very sharp images of this golden eagle carrying the duck away.
So if I understand you correctly, there's a slight downslope from the area with the standing water. So this golden eagle is flying close to the ground, kind of beneath the level of the standing water, downslope, if you will,
yes.
and literally emerges from below rather than above.
Yes, and amazing maneuver, really amazing maneuver. Very difficult to do. I've seen a bald eagle a few minutes later trying to do that, and it looked completely different. Yes.
And so then the eagle flies off with the duck, and does it immediately return to the same tree where it had been perched with those bare branches going vertically?
Well, what surprised me then even more was that the golden eagle dropped the duck. I do not know why, because if you look at my images, it had its had it very well wrapped in its talons, and I actually thought that they were sort of nearly like a cramp, that they don't actually let go, and I didn't see any reason, but it just dropped the duck, and it fell like a stone out of the sky. And I would have expected also the golden eagle to make a turn and go and get it again, but it didn't. It just went off in westerly direction, crossing the road, and perched in another tree. Yes.
What did you learn today, in addition to the way they hunt? What have you learned, I guess, through this shoot about the golden eagle itself? You were mentioning earlier, for example, about the markings on the eagle and whether it might be a male or female.
Well, I'm certainly no expert on golden eagles. I think I know bald eagles fairly well, but I can refer here to David Hancock, who he was an eagle biologist, and he believes definitely this is a younger juvenile golden eagle, because it's got still white on its feathers, which you can see very clearly from the pattern. And also he believes it's a male. I don't know why he believes it's a male, but he's got a lot of experience. So I can't really comment on that. What I did learn about the behavior, which is really interesting, is how on earth a golden eagle, and I think this surprised David Hancock too, how a golden eagle is able to manage in an area that is completely surrounded by bald eagles. I mean, recently we counted 730 bald eagles in this area, and you just see bald eagles everywhere. But this golden eagle, amazingly enough, doesn't budge at all if a juvenile, and they're usually juvenile bald eagles are very aggressive. They come in with their talons stretched out, and it's such a menace. The one sitting perched is at such a disadvantage. They usually all take off, but this golden eagle wouldn't. He'll fight. And the juvenile went off. And in another case, a juvenile, he came straight at it. A juvenile took a massive fight, and the juvenile went away. It's just absolutely stunning to watch this golden eagle.
So he pretty much rules the area.
Absolutely, and that's why he survives there. I do not know how much he really caught in the days, but obviously, hopefully he's going to do well, and hopefully we'll see him there for a long time. It's what I've learned is that this hasn't happened in decades. This is really unique.
Earlier, a moment ago, when referring to the markings on the golden eagle, you said still white. Do those white feathers that we see beneath the wings change color?
I think so, yes. I'm not an expert, Mark. I believe that's the case, yes. I believe that's the case, yes.
It's one thing to look at these Google images from the street view. It's a sunny day. You didn't have a sunny day today. In fact, I imagine that you might have even been combating the possibility of rain throughout much of today. So you had this dreary type sky, and you didn't have an abundance of light. Did that offer a particular challenge to get these photos today?
Well, I know my camera and my lens well enough, so I balance the whole time with light. And I can pull out the maximum out of my camera. Fortunately, I have a lot of experience now. So when such, which I really call rare opportunities, I think this is a very rare opportunity. That what happened today, I know what to do, and I work a lot with the image stabilizer. If the eagle is perched, I know at approximately what speed what settings I have to use. I use a complete manual control, overexposure, and so on. So I've got a fairly good grip of all that, fortunately.
So for these still images, tell us about the camera and the lens that you were shooting.
Okay, so I was using an 800 millimeter at f5.6. That's my prime lens, and I use my camera is the Nikon D4S. It's a beautiful combination. They focus extremely fast. So usually, what I do when the eagle's perched, I go. I stop down the shutter speed to about 1/200th of a second, sometimes 1/300th of a second, to really get to get enough light. And I open the aperture usually completely or one stop below, which means I'm running at f6.3. Because the golden eagle is so incredibly dark and the sky is rather bright, even though it is a very dim day, I usually correct the even spot metering, and I intentionally overexpose to get the very, very dark parts out and get good contrast. So I intentionally overexpose, which I usually don't do with bald eagles. I usually underexpose, especially when the sun shines. So yeah, that's basically how I run it. And the video is fairly straightforward. I run at 1/60th of a second. You can run at relatively low ISO because the exposure time is very short. And the nice thing about the video that you see, why I'm seeing it so close, is we're running at a crop factor of 2.7, which gives us a focal length of around, let me just multiply it in my head, it's over just over 2 meter focal length, so we're running over 2,000 millimeter, which is incredible at HD quality. So yeah, that explains a lot of the good quality we're seeing, plus the very fast focus system that the camera has.
So when we look at the video, for example, when the golden eagle is perched in the tree, you have a lovely close-up shot with so much detail. In actuality, how far away is the golden eagle from you at that time?
Oh, it's fair. I think it must be. I would estimate it's about 100 to 200 meters. It's difficult to say. Let's say about 130 meters. So what is it? 400 feet about? I think yes, about 400 feet.
Well, it all results, the gear that you're using, the experience that you bring to the lens, the camera itself, and your familiarity with birds in general, and now your learning curve with golden eagles in particular. It all results in some exquisite photographs here, which I'm sure are going to get a lot of eyeballs feasting upon them. And one of the remarks, Christian, that you said earlier before we actually began the interview, when you were excitedly telling me about this moment of the hunt, you said the golden eagle comes up like a rocket.
Yes, it does. It does. It's really incredible. I mean, this golden eagle is just such an amazing bird. I mean, I've been watching bald eagles for years now, and it's just like, who is this? It just looks like a juvenile at first, but of course it's not. Its whole behavior is so different. Also, what is very interesting, after it hunts, it always seems to do what bald eagles do when it rains a lot, is just to dry their wings. I've got that on video quite a few times, but usually they don't do that very often. The golden eagle will do its turn, and if it gets wet in any turn, it'll hang out its wings all relaxed there again and again. So the pattern is very, very different. By the way, I should correct something. In some instances, that golden eagle was as close as 60 to 80 feet. So I did get some close-ups too, as it flew by.
Fantastic. When you were telling me about this shoot earlier today, as you were arriving home, you said it was as if everything you've done up to this point with your shooting learning curve was it all became so useful to you. It kind of culminated in this very special moment today.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I think I just was extremely lucky today to get it into focus and so on, and also because after a while you don't worry so much anymore. You just think, oh well, if it's going to work, it'll be fine. And if you know the settings and what to do in your sleep and just how to do it, then despite the very low light level today, I couldn't believe when I came home that actually the images look really good.
Well, thanks so much for sharing with us, Christian. And I congratulate you on what must be a very rewarding and special day for you, too, in capturing this bird in its glory, so to speak, and not only, perched and flying, but actually hunting. It's something to behold. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you'd like to add?
No, actually not. I think, from the images and the videos, hopefully they'll speak for themselves. And I really hope that whoever is going to see the media and see the pictures and the video and the text with it will be able to enjoy it and appreciate it as much as I was there when I was there.
All right. And for the people who would like to see more of your work, they can always go to your Facebook page, which is facebook.com/SassePhoto. That's SASSEPHOTO. And you also have a website, sassephoto.com. Thank you so much, Christian. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mark. Thanks. Bye.